Hey everybody, this is PJ Riley from Lancaster Archery. Got a product video for you today. We wanted to tell you about the Easton 4mm Axis Long Range. So this is the Easton Axis that we've all been waiting for, that's designed especially for long range. We've been shooting the 5mm for at long range anyway. Now we have an Axis arrow that is built specifically for long range. And why it is that 4mm diameter. Super skinny arrows. You know, if you even go into the target world, when they're shooting long distance, they're shooting skinny arrows. Now we can do that in the hunting world with the Easton 4mm Axis long range. This is a carbon arrow, and it's designed in Easton's accu-carbon process. So what that is a process, it's a weaving process that they use to build these arrows. And why that's important is, okay, I have a dozen arrows here. Let's say in 2 years, I only have 3 left, and now I want to go buy another dozen. With that accu-carbon process, every arrow that Easton builds in the same, if I go back for an Easton 4mm Axis long range, if I go for that batch again, every arrow is going to be the same. That's more difficult when you're rolling carbon. It's hard to match the spine, the straightness, the weight, all of that. But with that accu-carbon weaving process, it's just a continuous process. Literally, they just keep this weave going and they cut off the shaft. And then it continues and they cut off the next shaft. So it never changes, and that accu-carbon makes it so that you can get another dozen of these arrows 2-3 years down the road, and it's going to be exactly like what you have. So that's cool as well. So straightness tolerance. Obviously, when you're shooting long range, any imperfections, they're going to be magnified. So Easton makes these with a straightness tolerance across the shaft of 0.003 of an inch. That is crazy straight for a carbon arrow shaft. And these arrows, I'm going to say, they're like middle of the road as far as weight. I have the 340 spine right here, and this one is going to weigh 8.3 grains per inch. That's not ultralight, but that's also certainly not super heavy. So this, again, long range, shooting long distance, a heavy arrow is not necessarily going to be the best for that. This, with that lighter weight and that micro diameter, this is going to be perfect for cutting through the wind, shooting long range. Now, what you're going to get with these arrows is you are going to get the 4mm Easton Microlight Nock. That's going to be the nock that you're going to get. And you're going to get a 50 grain aluminum half out. This is going to be your insert. So you can see I've got this end here that's going to slide inside the carbon shaft. And you're going to have 1/16 of an inch overlap there, where the outer part of the insert is going to actually come over the end of that carbon shaft. It's not going to be flush. It is actually going to encase it by 1/16 of an inch. That just helps protect that carbon end, and it helps make the tolerance here super tight, by having the insert go in and then the outsert over top. These components are perfectly aligned with that arrow shaft. 50 grains, that's going to allow you to boost that FOC, shooting that long distance. You want to have a little bit of extra weight up front to keep that arrow going perfectly straight as it's flying. And that gap there, the distance, having this outsert, most of it is actually off the end of the carbon shaft. So if there is damage, it's more likely to happen to the insert than to the carbon shaft. All right, so that is the Easton 4mm Axis long range. Great arrow from the folks at Easton's for those long distance, tack shooters or long distance hunters out west, whatever you're doing. This is the arrow that's going to work for you folks. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to click that bell to get notifications whenever we put out new videos. And as always, if you have any questions, you can visit us at lancasterarchery.com.